G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. It's almost at the end of the day here on Friday. I'm down here at Circular Quay and doing a vlog before I go to a concert. I'm off to a concert tonight at the Recital Hall where George Ellis and his symphony orchestra will be accompanied by bassis for a wonderful night of Greek music. I can't wait. But in the meantime, I thought I'd just do one more vlog for the day. Earlier today, I completed and I announced that I completed my 1000th vlog in total. I've done 61 in Greek and I had done 939 in English, which makes it 1,000 in total. So now I've got 60 to do to get to 1,000 in English to reach another goal that I've set myself, and I need to get there before my 61st birthday, which is the 27th of May. So let's go on a walk and talk. It's a beautiful day. I'm down here at Campbell Cove, and as you can see, we've got the wool stores, these beautiful iconic buildings. So let's go for a walk, and I'll walk around here. There's a Park Hyatt and the Harbour Bridge, and we've got this magnificent ship, this tall ship here as well, preparing to go out for a night on the harbour by the looks of it. I actually have promised myself to jump on board there one day and to do a vlog. So I must remind myself, I must make a mental note that given that I've said it, I've got to actuate it. I've got to actualise it and make it happen, because this is indeed a magnificent craft. So the book summary that I've chosen to do on this Voltula, on this little journey, is entitled Ego Friendly. An interesting topic, an absolutely interesting topic, and it's a topic which I'm happy to have embarked on. And the author is Marta Brzosko. Marta Brzosko. And we take a journey and talk about ego. And a lot of us, as that song by the Skyhooks many years ago, think that ego is a dirty word. I remember in the 70s, the Skyhooks, a wonderful band back then, had a real catchy tune which was entitled Ego is Such a Dirty Word. Whereas this author here is taking a different tact and basically says that referring to the ego as an enemy can be dangerously close to saying, I am my own enemy. Thus, it can undermine your spiritual growth instead of supporting it. Because ego, over the years, by a number of psychologists, by a number of philosophers, has gotten a bad rap. So let's have a look and see what this author comes up with in terms of trying to convince us that ego isn't all that bad in the first place. The author then goes on to tell us that the ego is simply a set of cognitive functions that select and process information about the world around us. Its role is to keep you safe and help you navigate reality. That's an interesting way of defining ego, and it puts a positive spin on ego. So the author then goes on to say that ego, we need to regulate our instincts, and we need ego to do that regulation. It regulates our instincts, and it also acts as a mediator between ourselves and others. Because as we said, ego is, a look inward and a focus inward to ourselves. And at some stages it can be suggested that it's selfish. But our egos are not healthy due to a thing called cultural meddling, because each and every one of us are infected and influenced by many, many biases. And there are cultural biases that infiltrate our thought processes, our functions, and impact our self-esteem and the way we see ourselves. So what the author here is suggesting, and I like the approach, is where he says that we need to have a balanced ego rather than no ego. There are many times when we see people with low self-esteem and other psychological problems which have gone the opposite end, where they have no ego whatsoever and they pay the price for that lack of ego. So we need to be at peace with our ego without over-identifying with it, is the point that this author is talking about. So we're going to see this tall ship push off, and I guess this will be one of the highlights for this evening. So the author then goes on to talk about the importance of letting go your ego. If you let go of your ego, it may lead to a spiritual bypass, which occurs when we are thinking that we are working on each other, but we are really avoiding our real issues.
You want to go there?
So let's just move on a bit. But what we're saying is the author talks here about a spiritual bypassing, which sounds to be a little bit of a negative. But what the author then reminds us, and this is really, really powerful, if you have a low self-esteem, if you are self-depreciating, if you beat yourself up, then you need a little more ego in your life to bring balance. You don't need less ego. So for people who are at the other end of the spectrum, which lack confidence, lack self-esteem, lack all of those other things, then being reminded that ego is a dirty word or is something that they should try and cap causes, I guess, important sort of negativities in their lives. Because low self-worth plus killing off an ego means or leads to self-harm, and it makes those problems worse in people that have those types of issues. So the author then finishes off with another point where they say that a healthy ego helps you pick relevant goals and build rewarding relationships. Being too selfless is not all that ideal. We need to perceive ourselves as a valued member of a collective and not to depreciate and rubbish ourselves. And it all comes through knowledge. We need to know ourselves. We need to understand our likes and our dislikes, our strengths and our weaknesses, because all of these things work together to allow us to set limits and boundaries and to generate a very, very healthy self and sense of self. So the last point to come from this book, from this wonderful author, is that we need to increase and to work on our emotional awareness, because through working on an increased emotional awareness will generate and allow us to create a baseline and a healthier ego. because what we should be striving for is a functional ego. Not no ego, not too much ego, but a balanced and functional ego is the point that I hear this author echoing. So the author talks about the importance of allowing our emotions and not to suppress them, to focus on your feelings and to embrace them rather than wanting to eliminate and squash those feelings and all those things. So I think that's it from this book summary today. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I'll just follow this boat, this tall ship around and see it go, hopefully under the harbour bridge. But thanks for joining me on this journey into finding out how to be ego-friendly by Marta Brzosko. And let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. And most importantly, let's make the most of the rest of this beautiful day and be the wind beneath our wings, the board, the wave beneath our board, the wind that billows our sails and flutters our flags, and the turbine, the propeller that propels our magnificent craft in the direction where we desire to go. Thank you for joining me once again, and I look forward to coming to you from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment where we can live, learn and pass it on. And let's see if we can get a view of this boat coming through this little spy hole. Here we go. How lovely is that? Hello there. Anyway, yasas. I'll chat to you again. Bye for now from Jim's 5am Club. Ciao, ciao.